I'm Adora Crystal. Welcome to the Rich Queen podcast. I believe that we each came here to experience, create, express something so freaking epic. And I believe that your life and all that you create is your queendom. Your journey to rich living. Whatever that is for you starts now. I've got Crystal and Justin here. They're from Stronger Than Yesterday. So super excited. We met at a little event that was happening at their house, but that little event was life-changing. We had an island donor, Jason, I love calling him an island donor though, someone who came in on their own plane, another superhero in her own caravan, all, people, $1 million mommy blogger, Holly, will be coming to her later. It was just so great getting to be in this little circle with Nick and Elias and all being coached on, how to reach the hearts of our audience with more passion, power, heart through storytelling. So we met there and just total bonding right away. Yeah. And so I got this amazing shirt. But anyway, so you guys, their story of creating their business is one of my absolute freaking favorite entrepreneurial stories. And I know I say that a lot, but this is like, I can't wait for you to hear this story. And if you hang on till the end, remember, we're going to give a t-shirt giveaway. So they basically, we're going to hear the whole story. But before we dive in, I want you to show them a few shirts. You're modeling them, obviously, right? You've had an amazing t-shirt business for over 6 years.
I'll stand up and show you.
This is the giveaway. Oh my gosh, Stronger Than Yesterday. What's in the collar of that?
The collar says fearless, strong, fit.
I love it. And it's off the shoulder kind of thing.
Off the shoulder. This is completely custom. It's got the little thumb things going on in the right here.
Oh my gosh, I'm going to have to order one of these. I love it.
One. Yeah.
I'm going to put my own name in the comments. Adora commented, where's a bot? Where's a bot when you need it? Awesome. Okay. So you guys started, I didn't even know the $36 check. So you met somewhere, moved to Vegas, right?
Yes.
And you were like, the part that I know is like, we can't do 9 to 5 anymore. Tell me how you got to that first. So you were just like, what kind of jobs were you doing?
Yeah, you start.
All right. So before I moved out here, I was a nutritionist, and I finally had a job that in a path that I actually enjoyed and liked. And then we decided to move to Vegas, and that's a different world. I got a job overnight as a personal trainer, jumped online, got a little quick certificate in like 15 minutes and was certified as a personal trainer the next day. And like 3 months into it, I was like, this sucks. Like, it's just not what I wanted to do. I hated it. So I got back into the restaurant world that I came from. And it was just this gnarly grind out here for a long time, working for just shitty people you don't like, people that don't know what the hell they're doing, that have no good interest for any, like, it's just a really kind of a nasty world, to be honest. So,
but it was golden handcuffs.
Oh yeah.
Because you make so much money, and that money is so instant that it's really hard to leave a job like that. You know what I mean? So that was our life for a while out here until
I called her one day. I was like, I hate this place. I got to quit. I'm like, I'm dying. Like, I was working at a steakhouse off the strip out here at that time. And it was just like, I was at work one day looking at my boss, and she was like trying to yell at me. I was like, the fuck?
You're like, wait, what's happening?
Like, I left. I was like, we're done. We're like, what do you want to do? Like, I don't know. Let's start a business.
This is where it gets so good, you guys. Oh my gosh. I've repeated these next lines at least 100 times. You really have to tune in to this next part, because there are some epic principles, but it is so awesome, especially because they've been successful. They have an actual business that's thriving, 350,000 people on Facebook. Yeah, you've got quite a following without even showing up and talking to the audience or anything, really. But really speaking to their heart through your design and pictures. So you say, I hate this job. So then you guys say what? So
we're like, okay, because I came from a corporate world. I was doing marketing on the strip, and that corporate world it's so soul sucking that I was like, I hate my job. They're like, well, what do you want to do? I'm like, let's start a business. We're like, okay, so what do you think we should do? I don't know. Let's do a t-shirt company. Okay. Like,
wait, let's back it up, because the way I heard the story was, let's get a desk.
Well, that was
what came right next.
Yeah, right
we're
after
like,
we just
that's what I want people to hear. No, they need to hear this whole.
Oh, no, we're getting to it.
They did not start with t-shirts. They went from, I hate my job, I hate my job, let's start a business. What do you need to start? Right? Who said, what do we need to start?
We need a desk.
So we both decided, we're like, okay, so we looked around our 1-bedroom apartment and we're like, okay, so how are we going to start a business in this 1-bedroom apartment? And we looked at our, fold up furniture and we're like, we need a desk. All right.
I love thinking about that. We need a desk. I have to tell you, I told my daughter Zaina this story, so remind me to tell you what she was saying as I was telling her this story. Okay,
so we hopped in the car. We hopped in the car, and Home Depot's just down the street, and we're like, all right, like, let's just build a desk. Like, we didn't want to buy a desk because we wanted to make sure that it did everything we wanted it to do, because we're so extra like that.
You still didn't know what your business was going to be yet.
No idea. But I wanted all the balls and whistles.
Home Depot, and we're going to build an extra desk, a spectacular desk. So then what happened? You have the desk, then what?
So what did we do? We needed a computer.
Okay, so we're like, how do we get a computer? I don't know. We're like, we went to Best Buy and financed a computer. We're like, okay.
Still didn't know what your business was. You were like, we need a desk. Desk is done. How long did it take you to get the desk done?
A couple of days, maybe? Yeah. Maybe 2,
yeah.
Okay, 2 days.
You just started cutting stuff up.
Sounds like Noah and the Ark. We need a boat. We need to get out of this shit. Let's build a desk. So you built a desk. Then you needed a computer. So you went to Best Buy. All right, I can feel Home Depot and Best Buy as sponsors for you, ladies.
Right.
I'm their entrepreneurial whatever. Okay, so then you go to Best Buy, you financing dreams. All right. So you go to Best Buy, you finance your computer, then what?
So basically,
wait, did you have chairs for your desk?
No, we used some of our. What do we have?
We had lawn chairs.
Oh, we got a bar stools out of a foreclosed house that closed down the street.
So they were on the side of the street.
Yeah,
I love this story. I love this story.
I forgot about that. This. Yeah. It's weird.
Mm-hmm. I love this though. I love it. Okay, so you get the bar stools. Now you've got the computer.
Yep.
The desk, and then what?
So we hooked up our internet to the computer, and the first thing we did was Google how to run or how to start a business.
Yeah.
And we decided that we were going to do a t-shirt company. So the next
wait, I know I keep interrupting and being like, wait. Didn't you pick the name next?
He picked the name.
So you picked the name though before you were going to do the t-shirt company, or you already knew you were going to do a t-shirt company?
No, we picked the name first.
We picked the name
Yeah,
first.
That's what I thought. See, I said it's very important. This is important, and I'm going to draw the points in a little bit, but it's important to remember the order. So they still did not have a t-shirt company down. You picked the name Stronger Than Yesterday.
Yeah.
And we need to dig into this because this is faith in action, dude. If I've ever seen it. It's like take the next best step that you know and wait for the next best step and take the best, which gives me chills. I mean, I love it. And it's like, but it's really at its finest, like faith in action. So how old were you all at this point, by the way?
25.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. I love it.
10 years ago.
Okay. I love it. And you all look so young. Okay. So you get the desk, you get the bar stools, you get the computer. Then you're like, we need a name. How did you choose Stronger Than Yesterday?
Ooh, well, for us, we were right at a really kind of a transformative time in our lives because we moved out here. We'd been out here for a little over a year and just were kind of dinking around. We didn't really know what we were doing, what we wanted to do. And we, at that time, got into CrossFit. And it was the first time we kind of had just something that we were actually striving for. And it really kind of woke us back up.
Yeah.
So it really was kind of, we're in a place where things were becoming better. We were becoming better versions of ourselves, just trying to figure that part of life out. And we were kind of inspired, motivated, and wanted a name that kind of reflected it. And ironically, back when we first met in my apartment, outside of my bedroom, when I walk up, there was this little whiteboard. And on every day, I just had, the only thing I put on it was fuck mediocrity.
Oh,
every day, that's all I saw. Because I hate, it just pisses me off, to be honest. When all people like that just blows my mind. So
if I was on Twitter, which I will be soon, that would be my tweetable, one of the tweetable moments. Yeah. Fuck mediocrity. Yeah. All right, go ahead.
That's probably not appropriate for a clothing.
Hey, it's not about appropriate, right? Appropriate isn't.
Yeah. We decided to kind of play around with it for a little bit, and then this is just what came out. It's what stuck with us in the kind of the most powerful sense. So once we got onto this name, we couldn't move off of it.
Yeah.
Like, that's what
so then didn't you go to your dad? Still didn't know what the business was, but went to your dad?
Yeah.
Okay, now tell me, see, look at this. So now you have a desk.
It's all unfolding.
You have a computer. You have a name that's meaningful to you. Guys, they still didn't know what their business was, but they had so much faith and confidence in it because you Google search and the domain was taken and how much was it to buy it?
It was available. But
it was
price.
So. How much was it?
How much was it? $2,500.
$2,500.
So then you finance a $500 computer. So we're like,
I know. So then you go to your dad and total face, still don't know what the business is. And like amazing props to parents
I love
step in and believe in their children. That's so cool. So you go to your dad and what do you say? Like, how do you get him to give you $2,500 for a domain that you don't know what you're doing yet?
We put together some cockamamie little business plan. No idea what it was.
We had to Google how to do a business plan.
Putting in stuff like, I think that sounds right. Oh, that sounds good. And we gave it to him and he's like, okay. So they're like, what we'll do is this, because they're like, you're ridiculous over here. It was a lost cause. And if they gave us that money, then we would have lost it all anyways. It was.
Oh, because you asked for more. You asked for the domain plus funding.
All the money we need to get us from here to here. Yeah, right. Little did we know, but it was.
So that's good. He didn't give you everything. He gave you enough to start and to seed your business so that you could take it.
Yeah, that's really all we needed.
Oh my gosh. Okay. So then he gives you the $2,500. Are you guys like over the moon by then? Like when you realize you're about to go purchase this?
Well, that's when we realized, oh shit, this just got real. Like we can't like fail now because they're invested in us, so we need to make sure that this works,
Yeah.
So yeah, we just took the necessary steps to move forward. We Googled, we researched on how to start a company
and then what? So now you were like, okay, we need something. So you have the money, purchase the domain, you're Googling. Then you're like, I guess we could sell t-shirts or what?
Well, we were in that CrossFit community already. And so the cool thing about it is like the camaraderie and like how motivating it is.
I see another sponsorship. Go ahead.
Yeah, email us. But we just saw how motivating it is to be in that type of environment. So we're like, how cool would it be to have motivating quotes on a shirt?
Yeah.
So that's where the whole t-shirt idea came about.
Oh my gosh. And then you Googled what?
It was just started out as a very simple idea. We're like, okay, we can figure this out.
Yeah, because we didn't think it was going to be that hard, but oh my God.
Ooh, that's a different story.
That'll be another episode.
That's what we're talking about, because how many people quit when you go to approach something and your expectation is it's going to be easier, but there are always more things to learn than you think.
Always.
Right?
Every day we're still learning about our own stuff. So
yeah, it's not an easy path, but if it's the one I think that's right for you, it's the one worth taking. But if it's not, then I've seen so many people we've come into contact with, all of a sudden they're starting a clothing company and they're like, hey, how do we do this? And I'm like, okay. And then 3 weeks later it's gone.
So basically you were saying you've seen a lot of people that say they want to start it, but they just.
Yeah, I think a lot of times it seems easy. So they're just like, oh, that looks like fun. We'll do it. And they get into it and they're like, ooh, this is not not that easy path that you thought it would be.
Right.
Or hoped it would be, that they kind of look from the outside. You look at Instagram, if you look at any brand that you follow that's really big, it just looks like everything was easy. And that's almost never the case. Yeah. Unless, some people get a big enough influx of capital in the beginning that they can really weather the storm. But if few and far between. And the ones that start up from very small and nothing it's an extremely tough path, especially if it's not like we didn't know how to run a business. We figured everything out as we went each day. We're like, I don't know, what do you want to do today? We'll start a Facebook page. Like, oh, we need a logo. Let's design a logo. And I'm like, can you do that? She's like, yeah. I'm like, okay. I didn't even know how to turn the computer on. I was like, okay, cool. I didn't even have a Facebook page.
No, you didn't have any social media.
Like,
oh my God.
Hanging out in the other world. So.
I love that. And so which platform ended up being your main kind of
Facebook?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What did y'all do to market?
So for the first year, we did a lot of guerrilla marketing. We got out here in Vegas and, there's a lot of different festivals and stuff going on out here. So we bought a tent. We're like, okay, we're going to go find out what events are happening and what weekends. We're going to buy a tent. We're going to get the retail stuff. I went on, was it Pinterest or Google or something, and kind of looked up like tents, like how to do like an event. So I researched how to get all that equipment, and I had to go on Craigslist and like figure out how I can kind of finagle where to get all this stuff. And then the first weekend we were out at an event out here, and we were just selling shirts. Like for the first year, that's all we did was get out there and sell shirts. So it was just us two.
Yeah. And it's a grind. Like that's the thing. I think that's so important what you're talking about, because listen, I teach a lot about manifestation and flow and energy, and I'm really into all of that. And I've had several people point out in my lifetime, yeah, but Adora, your work ethic is like way high. And the thing is that psychologically, I don't feel like I'm working so hard because I'm so driven by what I'm doing, right? So I think it's an important point, because people go one extreme or the other. Like either they work really, really hard, burn themselves out, and there's no surrender to this higher universe or this higher self or ease, and they waste their lives. Like they didn't hug their babies. They didn't taste the rain outside or whatever, but then there's the other side where you can just like, oh, I'm just going to sit there and la-di-da, and it's all just going to happen. And the first like bump, they're out of the game.
Yeah.
So it's important to know that anything worth doing is going to take a combination of both, like heart and kind of some trust, some faith, and then some serious work ethic.
Oh yeah. I mean, we were out doing events, rain, wind, like, beautiful weather. It was a grind for the first year just to even get our name out. But you know what? I'm glad that we did it that way, because it led us to where we're at now. You know what I mean? So that's when the whole social, like the Facebook and the Instagram, that's kind of like where it all evolved. Everything went from being out on the streets. Now on social media, you have like this platform where you can reach all these people, That's why a lot of people probably think that it's so easy to start something, so because they can be like, oh, hey, I'm just going to start an Instagram page and hope that it goes viral, But to have a real viable business, you really have to be on the street and show face and be connected with the customers. That way they can connect to you.
Yeah. And how did you, so you guys did a year out on the street, beating the street, and then you started moving things online, and I know you're moving to doing more Facebook Lives and connecting in that way, but you all built a whole thing kind of Instagram style, but on Facebook, right? Yeah. Like you did. Talk about that, just because it's interesting.
Well, the thing is that we're both, we don't like to be in front of the camera in this way. Like it's just totally out of our comfort zone. So, for the last 6 years of being SUI, we just did a lot of photography. We did a lot of like motivational stuff just for engagement. So that was our way of kind of channeling our customers, I guess you could say, without having to actually interact with them.
And the other thing is we didn't want it to be about us. Like I didn't want to be putting pictures on there for the feedback from myself, because I don't want or need that feedback.
Right.
Like for me, it wasn't about getting the attention on us. It was about the brand.
The brand, yeah.
So we wanted to stay off camera and behind the scenes as much as possible, because we weren't trying to make it about us. We never wanted that, and we still don't.
Yeah.
But we realized that we weren't able to connect with our customers and our audience and people the same way that we really want to behind the scenes. So evolve that direction.
Yeah, we have Nick and Elias to thank for that, by the way.
And by the way, I have a new contest rule. Okay, so if you already did a bunch of comments, you'll still get a bunch of entries. But I want people to comment how they are stronger than yesterday. Speaking of this brand, like in what area are you stronger than yesterday? Or in this moment, could you make the choice? I'm going to do starting right now right now in Central Time, it's 12:22, but look at your own time and go, okay, right now I'm going to be stronger than I was yesterday in this area. And I know right now you two are, because you're sitting here with me live.
It's creepy.
It's very different. I like it though.
Yeah, it feels good once you get used to it. And I like the heart of what you're saying, that you didn't want to make it about you. And it's really cool to learn that there are ways to engage with your audience without making it about you still. Yeah. And that they get to feel you, see you at new levels, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and tell me about some of your raving fans, or if you had a favorite fan mail or something that you got. Yeah, let me hear.
We get tons of emails like every day. We really do. And it's really, it sucks because we can't really we don't have the time to reach out to everybody, you know? So a lot of them, there's a few that's actually touched me, you know, through motivational quotes. I didn't realize like that the quotes that we post, they really hit hard for some people out there, you know? And so I got this email from a person, I forget where they're from, but they were on the verge of suicide. And one quote that I posted basically hit home for her. And she wrote an email saying, you know what, you guys changed my life. I've been following you guys for X amount of time. And, you know, just that instant or that constant motivation really has inspired me to like see things in a different light. I just want to thank you guys for just changing my life. I'm like, holy crap. Like, I'm just trying to like spread positivity. I didn't think it was going to go that beyond, you know what I mean? So to me, that was really, really cool. And we've had a few of those. Another one was, he got a tattoo.
Yeah.
He got a tattoo on his chest because
we got our logo tattooed on his chest.
Yeah, which was so cool because just whatever we're spreading online is just hitting home for people. Mm-hmm. Yeah. You know, Stronger Than Yesterday goes beyond just the physical. It's spiritual, it's mental, it's, you know, it's all of that. People can take it in different forms, and I guess we're doing something right.
And speaking to that, if you're watching or listening to this now in podcast form or watching the replay, it just shows how much sharing positivity, how far little acts of kindness and little words can go, because you never know where a person is, and we all feel it, and we're all bombarded with media and news with some of the worst stuff that's happening. And, you know, with all these dating sites and stuff, people are getting even more like jaded about, you know, it's like, it's very connecting. It can be so connecting, but it can also like make you feel more afraid. And so owning your own positivity and then doing the little things to share it with others impacts. I always look at it like the earth is one big cell in a larger body, and we're like little cells in a body, and it can be really, you can feel like you're alone doing your thing in your house, and they're out there, the enemies, but really we're occupying the same body, and we're, you know, energetically exchanging things all the time. And then many things we're not even aware that we're exchanging, but we're sending out a vibration. So managing your own positivity helps the whole of the body. But then in that day-to-day, when you think about cells in a body, like, hey, what do you need? What do you need? And doing the little exchange, that's what you all have been doing online. And every person and every day has the opportunity to make that kind of difference. Just choosing a smile over a frown, just choosing a hello over a, like, get on with it kind of look. choosing grace over laying on the horn, you know, when someone's like, oh, that's a work in progress. Yeah, we're all like,
getting the hard harder, like stronger.
Yeah. Yeah. So saying that, stronger than yesterday for you all, what does that mean going forward? Because I know you're up leveling some different things.
Yeah. I mean, what we decided this year is that we wanted to really approach the business in a different way. So for our customers who've been around for a while and we've been on the surface a little slower, it's because we've been behind the scenes just building out an entire new arm and division of the company where we are going to bring in the things, some of the things, like for me, I've always been extremely passionate about fitness, health, nutrition. But what I've always found is that really, and I mean, really, we're always fucked up because we're only hitting 2 of the 3 or 3 of the 4, a couple of the categories. And we put all our focus on like, I'm going to lose weight. Everything goes into weight loss.
Yeah.
And then everything else fails away. And then all the time, like everything, we fail at everything and everybody's sick and just everything is going wrong in such a fast manner where nobody sees it happening because the blinders have been pulled over on everybody and they don't want to see it because then they have to address it. Mm-hmm. Right. So for me, those are things that we've been doing throughout our whole life. And I came into some really kind of crazy health issues over the last couple of years. And what it really came down to is all the things that even working back in the day as like a traditional style nutritionist where you get that traditional education, you learn things that are in textbooks that are no longer viable. Mm-hmm. And you learn things from systems and sources that are no longer viable. And you're teaching this. And it's what you learn is that it's really actually not healthy. Most of what everybody's been taught in the whole world about nutrition, especially in our country, more than I'd say a significant amount, mm-hmm. It's wrong. It's almost like everything most people believe about nutrition is just marketing. It's all they've learned through their life is how certain companies market certain types of food, or there's a reason everybody thinks you have to take a certain amount of steps a day. That was made up by a Japanese pedometer company. Like they were selling watches, so they told you how many steps you need. And that was made up so they can sell watches. And now that's the thing everybody in the world has to go by. And like, oh, I'm healthy. I'm like,
isn't that crazy?
Little, like,
yeah.
Everything is. And I was eating healthy, and everyone's like, oh my God, you eat so healthy. And on the inside, I was falling apart. And I was like, I'm breaking and mm-hmm. sick. And like everything in my life was just going downhill. And on the outside, it looked like my build was good and I was fit and strong and mm-hmm. everything looked good. And everything on the inside was just getting absolutely destroyed. So we were driving out to California one day and listening to a podcast, and I heard a functional medicine doctor on there, and I was like, what's that? I had no idea. I'd never even heard of the thing. I was like, And we're listening, and I'm hearing him talk, and I knew enough about nutrition to understand that what he was saying was, I'm like, that actually, even though it's not what I know, it makes perfect sense. And it logically lines up in my head. And I was like, okay. Mm-hmm. And he talked about some other guy where he learned from. So we rabbit holed that direction. And a couple hours later, we're listening to another functional medicine doctor, and I'm like, okay. And then we listened to a biohacker. I'm like, what is that?
Yeah.
Like, it took 3 or 4 podcasts of that before I even could remember what the term was. And I was like, okay, and I'm listening, and I'm hearing these things that they're saying you can do. And I'm like, what? Like everything we've been told, I'm like, it's all wrong. And we're learning every single day that almost everything we do makes us sicker instead of healthier. And I was like, wow. And I'd been in the healthier side of that world and industry for a long time. So it was, to me, it's still like a slap in the face. And I was like, oh, what an eye opener. And I was like, okay. So we got home from that trip that weekend, and I just started listening to podcasts because I was like, I'd never gotten information like that before. And it just one after another, and start and get a book here and start reading. And all this information starts piling on. And really what it was is I fixed my whole entire life from the inside out. Whereas everything we always focus is the outside in. Mm-hmm. In turn, I'm healthier. I have energy. My brain, which had completely shut off for almost 2 years, and I was barely able to make it through the day.
Wow.
I was 2-3 hours, and I was on the couch, like out, and I was like, this isn't me. And I couldn't figure out, like I couldn't push forward. It was weird. And my brain had shut down, the insides of my body had shut down, and everything. So we started playing with things, and we started putting stuff together. And over the last couple of years, we really, it healed her. What I did to myself it was an experimental process, taking from the best teachers. And I'm like, okay, well, those things work. And I feel like that might be a gimmick just because they're trying to sell something specific. And we just kind of tried to sift through it. And over time, what I found is that we were healthier. felt better, but ironically, we weren't even looking for the aesthetic side of it. It just kept, our bodies kept getting better and better and better and better. And we're like, we were training at that point less and less because we'd been doing a lot more in-depth work in the business, and it just kept going. And I was like, what the fuck is happening? Because I'm like, those 15 things look cool. I'm going to try all 15 things at once. And you're like, okay, we don't know which one. So we started pulling back and sifting through things, and really just over this last year is when we truly locked in on some stuff. And it changed my entire life. Like, I was that 6 meals a day slave to you're eating your meals, trying to figure out what your next meal is going to be, chicken and rice and broccoli and it just was nothing but that. And I grew up not eating vegetables. All we did was chicken and rice. And especially once you get in the fitness world, there's nothing healthy about most of it. It's just a good way to make you look aesthetically appealing. Mm-hmm. So we just kind of kept going through that. And eventually, we're like, this really works. I'm like, oh my God, what the people we've learned from obviously are the best in the world at what they do. And this doctors that created functional medicine. And we're learning from these guys like Mark Hyman and Chris Kresser and these guys who are the absolute top in their field. And I'm listening to them talking. It's literally everything the exact opposite of everything I'd ever been told. And I'm like, I think there's something to that, because usually that's when all the good stuff kind of starts coming into play. So we healed ourselves and just kept going. And I am probably the healthiest and most athletic I've ever been today versus when I was in college playing sports. Yeah. And that's crazy, because if I knew these things back then, everything we do as we develop would have been better. And then we did a thing with my mom, and I'm like, we got to see where we're at. And she was her life was kind of going the wrong direction, and it really pulled her back. Mm-hmm. And I was like, I don't even know if I can convince her to do this, because it's so
left field from what she does.
It's everything you've ever been told. You got to throw that shit out.
Yeah.
And you got to try some stuff here, and we're just going to go with it, and you need to just stick with me. She's like, okay. Yeah. And finally she's like, okay, I'll try it. And then she did, and a couple weeks in, she's like, I'm like, just stick with it like another week. And just trust me that this is going to be good. She got through it because she had her body had been addicted to sugar forever. Right. So you have to be able to detox that. And as she did that, once that faded away, all of a sudden she's like, oh my God. She's like, she lost so much weight. She's like, I feel good and I'm vibrant. She's like, looked 10 to 15 years younger. And I was like, at one point we were so busy, we didn't even see each other for a couple months. And then I saw her again, and I was like, what the, oh my God, you look younger and better than I've ever seen that I can remember as an adult. I was like, oh my God. I'm like, so are you staying with this? She's like, I can't go back. And she's like, I tried for a couple of days, and she's like, I realized how horrible I actually feel. Because most of us are so used to feeling just kind of shitty.
And don't even realize it. It's just the standard of how you feel, right?
It mess me up. You're like, no, it doesn't mess you up, because you're already at the fucking bottom, and you don't actually know every other piece of that. You should feel better. And then people yo-yo, and I did a diet and I lost a lot of weight, and I went back because you did this crazy, ridiculous diet, and that's not how life's supposed to be. It's supposed to be sustainable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So your nutrition, people think of diet and it's just this negative, scary ass word. And I'm like, all that really should mean is you evolve your diet around a way of life that gives you a better way of life. Why? To me, that's not hard, because we gotta eat awesome food. It tastes good. It looks fantastic. You're full. You're happy. Your brain works. Your body works. You're not sleeping after. You're not sick. You're not all the little things start to fall away, and people are like, you can't eat healthy. And I'm like I had a ribeye last night. All this if you have a picture, I'm like, what did I eat last night? They're like,
yeah, we're going to see more of those pictures. So I want to insert two things here, and thank you for that share, because it helps to segue into another piece that I think is so beautiful. If you're just tuning in or you're hanging on, we are going to be doing the t-shirt giveaway, and we'll do another one when the podcast replays, and it'll be based on shares, and there'll be a vacation added and some other things as well. So even if you win today, you should try again. The other thing is we have a special promo code that if you want to go get some sweet, Stronger Than Yesterday gear. I have a t-shirt that you guys, I'm embarrassed to admit, but I wore it 3 days in a row. But to be fair, I wore it right after a shower for a couple hours. And then I got up the next day and I was like, well, I was clean. I'm still clean. So I wore it again part of the day. And then I changed. And then I was like, I'm going to the gym. It's cut so cute. I think it'll look great on leg day. So I wore it to the gym. And it has an incredible phrase on the back. And I tell me what it's like. If you know me, you know, I'm always talking about the story that you tell yourself. And if you think about, I think I can. So read it out loud because it's a little hard to see there. And in case they're listening.
Yeah. The only thing standing between you and your goals is the bullshit story you keep telling yourself.
Boom.
Boom. Mic drop.
Boom. Yeah. So even if you have a shitty real life story, you have to tell yourself a new one, or you're going to keep being that little engine that can't. And guess what happens when you step up? Like, I can't win. I'm going to lose. You're going to fucking lose. That's what happened. So even if you've been losing your whole life, you need to rewrite that story. And I can help you with that on a different class. It's like my passion. And also, so go to Stronger Than Yesterday and they can use the promo code Adora. Is that what you did? And is it with a capital A or a little?
All caps.
All caps, Adora. That was so sweet of you all. I did not pay them to do that. But you can put in Adora in all caps and you get 20% off. Also, does that work for setting an appointment with you in the fitness? What's the name of your fitness company? And I want to talk a little bit about that.
Sure, it's called One Time Transformation. And
so they can go to onetimetransformation.com and you can book a 15-minute call to see if they're a good fit with you. And can they use that same promo code to get a percentage off if they decide to work with you?
They can, yeah. We'll use it. It'll be a different discount they get on it, but we will give them.
Awesome. So you'll get some kind of elusive, awesome discount that we'll tell you about later. Oh, no, just but you need to tell them. And if you're talking to them on the phone, be sure to say Adora in all caps. Like you have to say in all caps or it won't work. If you just say Adora, it's bust. It doesn't work.
Then there's nothing coming from it.
Like these millennials, you all might do this, say LOL instead of laughing. Like they're like, LOL.
Yeah.
Like say it out loud. Yeah. Like, wait, why didn't you just laugh? I mean, why are we saying LOL? Okay. I'll catch up. Right. I'll catch up. So the other thing I want you all to know that's super cool, I'm going to be interviewed by Justin and Crystal on Thursday on their business page. So be sure to check us out there if you want to go a little deeper. And Justin and I are going to be working together. I'm going to be a case study for them. If you don't know, I have been watching Jamie Eason and her beautiful booty since I was like 20. In magazine. You too? Oh, well, you did land a petite.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So, and I've had these random thoughts of like, oh, I'm going to do a bikini competition. I did start to train for one once and I got so sick. I went from vegetarian to meat eating. And I was so sick of chicken and rice. Like I'm a girl who needs variety. And I'm so about that whatever work you do on your body has to come from absolute love for your body. Like I've loved up at times like my fluffier version of me. And I believe that it has to be the base or else you end up with something that's not sustainable. And frankly, this piece of chicken fell on the floor and I didn't realize it. And I saw it, it was cooked, but I saw it like a couple days later and I was like, ugh. It was before I had a dog. And I was like, I cannot do this anymore. I'm out, like too much chicken and rice. So anyway, I'm going to create a goal. It's already there, elusive, but I just haven't picked a show of doing a bikini competition sometime in the next year to 18 months. Yeah. First, I want to get my best body and health sustainable because a competition is not really a long-term thing. It's more just check. I want to have it on my list and done, because it is my body. But so Justin and I are going to record that initial conversation and you'll be able to follow our journey on both pages, their page and my page, and just see how that's going. And it'll be like this human experiment together, which is very exciting. So, so you guys, let's talk about real quick some kind of core takeaways before we leave. Number one, one of my core takeaways is build it and they will come. Have faith. Like take action, right? And don't, you don't have to know what you're going to do before you take action, but you need to sell out on that you're going to do it. You got to believe in yourself and get behind yourself and be willing to take the action, and massive action is a major thing. 2, you got to get out there, be with your audience, make sure that you're choosing something you really care about, or you won't have the grit to stay with it when the stuff does get tough, because it will get tough. If you don't know what to do next, go get a desk. Yeah.
It worked for us. It might work for you.
Might work. Yep. The other thing is that it's the small things. Spread the positivity, spread it. It matters. That really focus on being stronger than you are the day before. Absolutely. And that's the biggest thing. Is there anything else you all want to share?
You're just never too old to rewrite your story.
They're talking to me right now because I'm about to be 41. No, I'm just kidding. Half of the U.S., though, I heard, I don't know if it's true, as of 2017 is over 50. So like most of us are on the young side of that, right? So. Wow. All right, yeah.
To the other side,
too old to rewrite your story.
Yeah, and just be, become what you believe. Stand behind your passions and just go full force.
You're also not too young to take on your story.
Exactly. If we can do it at 25 with 30, what was it? 30? How much was it? $30-something dollars.
$36. That's what we did. We had that every 2 weeks.
But ain't one. All right, go ahead.
$36 is all it took for us to just go and build a desk and go all out with this. So
I love it. And then if they want to follow you Stronger Than Yesterday, use the promo code Adora in all caps. You can also go to
onetimetransformation.com.
Yep. And book your intake call. Remember to use Adora in all caps to get some kind of discount if you choose to work with Justin. And then on Facebook, and I'll look to post all these comments in the replay and in the link, but on Facebook, it's Stronger Than Yesterday, right?
Yeah.
Awesome. You guys, you've been amazing. I love you so much. I'm so glad to have you all in my life. And I can't wait to get together again in Vegas soon or on Jason's private island.
That is going to be fun.
Jason, if you're listening, buddy, we're waiting for that.
No, all the pressure in the world. We're going to keep claiming it. All right. I love you guys. Have a great day. And thank you so much.
All right. Love you too. Bye, guys.
Yes.
Hey, it's Adora Crystal again. I hope you so enjoyed this episode of the podcast. If you did, please share it with 3 friends right now. Please use the hashtag The Rich Queen Movement because we are always giving away prizes to our tribe. And if you want to go deeper with us, be sure to go to therichqueenmovement.com and take the free class that we're offering. It's going to help you unlock massive gifts inside of your own DNA. Until next time, so much love.